Hello and welcome to the Success by Design Weekly Masterclass with me, your host for today's session, episode 19, Abigail Barnes here. And today we are talking all about work-life balance in uncertain times. And while right now it may seem kind of ironic if you are listening to this live or you are catching up on the replay, then you will know exactly what I mean. If you are catching up on this later, at a later point, it might seem a little bit interesting that we're even having this conversation and what we're talking about might have no relevance. But I feel like this conversation today is going to be a really useful conversation for you in end of quarter one, start of quarter two, 2020, when it comes to managing your career, running your business, if you are a professional or an organization, if you're a leader, if you are a support role within a business, I think it is going to be super important for you to understand work-life balance and how to manage it in uncertain terms. And it may be that today is not the day for you to be listening to this, but I am truly hopeful and know that this will come to you at the right time. And if you're joining me live, please say live. If you are watching this on the replay, please write replay. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you would like to drop me an email, you can reach me at hello@Success by Design Training. If this is our first time hanging out, as I said at the start, my name is Abigail Barnes. I'm the founder of Success by Design Training. We work with professionals and organizations that want to create work-life balance and would like to live their best life while they're here and create organizations where people are happy and healthy. And as I said, I fully understand the irony of this conversation right now, but trust me, if you're finding yourself in a country where you are remote working, if you're remote working for the first time, if you're working from home, the UK, if you're watching this currently, the UK has just gone into lockdown a day ago. And what is going to happen is that we've all led very busy lives, and we've all used this classic excuse of I'm too busy and I can't, and I've got too much work to do. And what I truly believe is that it's not necessarily that we don't have enough time, because we've all got the same time, and there are people who are maxing their time out and living the most freedom-filled lives that you could ever imagine. And then there are others who are struggling to have enough time to do everything. Now, I've spoken about this over and over in events that I've talked about. In the book that I wrote 6 years ago and the new book that I'm writing. So as I said, it's not that we don't have enough time, it's just a question of how we're actually using that time and making the most of that time. And this period of lockdown, if you like, of enforced remote working is going to call upon all of us to review and to reassess how we're spending our time, and to identify that this excuse of I don't have enough time is actually an excuse. What you're not going to want to happen is that you are working from home and you are finding that you are spending every single day for 14 or 15 hours doing your work, because you're spacing it out in between different activities, and that your 8-hour day, in theory, your day's worth of activities are just they seem like they're never ending. And it's not that they're never ending, it's that you haven't taken control of the tasks that you need to do, which is what work-life balance is all about. It is possible to have both. It is possible to have time for yourself, for your family, for your hobbies, for your life, and to be really exceptionally good at what it is that you do, and to add value. And if those of you at the moment, the world is changing. What we're doing is changing. And people who are able to be adaptable and quickly hop onto things and make the most of the opportunities that are coming up right now are going to be the people who will succeed and who will thrive and who will be happy during these uncertain times. So let me share with you 3 things that I truly believe will help you and those around you to create work-life balance during uncertainty. And as I said, without them, it is just going to be a grind, and you will feel like you're constantly working or going crazy in your head because maybe you're not working. And at the moment, the place that you're in, hi Jody, how is Vancouver? The place that you're in right now might actually be that you're in fear on the sofa watching Netflix, which isn't going to help you move forward. It's not going to help your organization, and it's not going to sort of help you in the long run, if that makes sense. And if you've been following my daily show that I do in the mornings, the Productive Wellbeing Show, you will start to understand how all of the things, all of the habits, all of the actions that we're doing are having a knock-on effect. So those 3 things I said, right, the first and most important thing when it comes to work-life balance in these uncertain times is have a plan. Now, the plan doesn't need to be a strict plan. The plan doesn't need to necessarily be kept to, but without a plan, there is no idea, no logic, no sense about why anything is happening, what is going on, what you need to do today, what you don't need to do today, what you need to do this week, what can actually be left, because obviously situations have changed right now. So a plan can help you to take control back. And in a time where we don't have much control over many things, having control over a plan is a really super useful place to be in right now. The second thing is routine. I said this morning in my other show. It is so important to diarize everything, to keep a track of all of the things that you need to do so that you can maximize your time and you can avoid this slip into procrastination. Procrastination is great if you're in a place where you need to think about stuff, and that for me isn't really procrastination. That's what I call percolation. Like if you're making coffee or making tea and you're leaving it to stew, to brew, then it's percolating, it's thinking. And sometimes we need time to think about things, but we also need to schedule time to do things so that we can progress stuff and we start to feel like we're actually achieving things right now. And then the third thing, when it comes to managing work-life balance in uncertain times, is to be adaptable, because it might be that because of how things are, you need to take some time in the morning to do things, to buy things, to speak to certain people, because you can only speak to them at times around different time zones. You also have to understand that the colleagues that you're working with are having different calls on their lives now. So some people might be at home remote working with their family. They might be sharing their place of work, which is their home, but has now become their place of work, with their partners, with their friends, with all sorts of people. So everybody's got a different situation going on right now in these unprecedented times that has never gone on before. So adaptability is really, really key, and understanding that nobody is perfect. Perfect does not exist, and that there is no rule book for any of this. There quite simply is how you feel. So these 3 super simple tips are designed to help you feel like you're in control of your time, to feel like you are progressing things, to feel like you are staying sane when who knows what is going to happen next. So those 3 things were, the first one is have a plan. The second one is create routine however you can, whatever that looks like. And then the third one is to be adaptable. And also to understand that the organizations, the companies that you're working for, everything is changing for everybody. So nobody knows what's going on. Nobody can guarantee anything. Sectors that were thriving are now not thriving. Sectors that were not thriving are now thriving. So just keep your head above water. Be, can't think what the word is. Be inquiring of things. Look around, spot stuff, see stuff, anticipate things, have an ability or dig into your ability to be proactive with certain things and understand that life isn't how it was last week. But work-life balance is super, super important for the major reason that if we are spending 14 hours a day working every single day, and we are living where we are working, and we are seeing the same people day in, day out, we're not giving our brain any time out. And the ultimate will lead to burning out working from home. So in a place where we've got the ideal situation, you can you've got no commute, you can sleep a bit longer, you can make your own lunch. Inquisitively curious, that's a good, yeah, you can make your own lunch. If you're not in charge of your time, you will end up burning out. So today, just as an example, I ate my lunch in the sunshine. I took my lunch away for 30 minutes. Now, this is something that I advise people to do all of the time, but it is so easy to forget. And it's so easy for us to forget because we are so busy helping everybody else and serving everybody else. But don't forget, if you are not looking after yourself, you can't look after anybody else. If your energy tanks are not full, you're no use to anyone. So work-life balance is super important, whether it's uncertain times or certain times, but it's never been more important right now, because there also isn't sort of the ability for your friends and your family to be around you and to spot if you are pushing it too hard or not, because some of us are just sort of on our own dealing with this, and others are around their friends and family who are actually seeing them doing it and learning from you based on how you are responding. Because as I was saying this morning about, it's so important to be the role model, but to be the role model for yourself first. But by being that role model, others are watching what you are doing, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing if you are not practicing what you preach. So this was just a super short one for today. Make sure that you are prioritizing yourself and creating some kind of balance, however that can be. And your downtime isn't spending more time looking into what's going on outside, that you are thinking about what kind of activities you can be doing with your free time to help you sort of feel better mentally, learn new things, chat to new people, do new exciting stuff, so that you're keeping the variety in your life, even though you've not necessarily got that variety that you would normally get from leaving the house and interacting with others. So I really hope this was useful. I really hope that it has been the conversation that somebody needs to hear right now. As I said, any questions, any comments, leave them in the comments box or email me at hello@successbydesigntraining.com. I was dubious as to whether to carry on this show, but I feel like this is my opportunity to go a little bit deeper around a concept, and that the daily show is more about supporting you in the moment. So anyway, let me know, and also let me know what you would like me to talk about going forward. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay well, and don't forget to wash your hands.